Today, we're going to look back at my high school music taste. Will it be good? Will it be bad? Well, you guys are going to let me know, so let's get into it. Actually, I'm lying. Like and subscribe before we get into the video. That would help me out a bunch. Please do it. Please do it. We hit 10K. Let's try to hit 20K. That would be crazy. 20K would be amazing. Now, for context, I graduated class of 2019. Hopefully the people watching this video are around my age or are also class of 2019. That would be very nice. Otherwise, you guys are probably going to make fun of me, call me hecka young or hecka old. Most likely old. People are going to be calling me Unk at this point. It's kind of disrespectful. Stop it. It's kind of crazy for me because we're at that point, or at least on TikTok comment sections, I always see people make fun of, I guess older people, but class of 2019 isn't even that old in my mind. So class of 2019, that means 2015 was my freshman year. And saying that out loud is pretty crazy because in 2025, next year, will be 10 years since my freshman year. I'm pretty much going to go through a bunch of my memories of what was popping back in the day and what I was listening to, because I do remember some of the earlier stuff in my high school career, 2015, 2016. I kind of remember that vaguely, but the later stages like 2018, 2019, I kind of have playlists during that era, so we're going to look at that too. I've never really been a big playlist guy, and if you've been watching me for a while, you kind of know that because I have like 3 playlists out on Spotify and they have like 10 songs. So, I'm not that big of a playlist guy. I kind of just listen to albums from beginning to end. That's kind of my thing. I don't know. That's the way I listen to music. And the people watching this at this point know I'm kind of that underground rock, alternative rock type of listener, type of music enjoyer. And that being said, I did listen to a lot of rap back in my day. That's basically what I started listening to. That being said, I'm never going to be that person that looks back at rap and thinks the less. I'm not going to be like, I moved on to real music with rock and roll. That is so whack and stupid and ridiculous to say or think. I will say I'm not into rap in this new scene like I used to be up to date and stuff like that. Back in the day, what was new, I kind of understood. I was seeing it in the online sense. I was looking up stuff, listening to a bunch of new rappers that were popping. Nowadays, not really so much, not really too much. I know a couple of rappers. I almost said bands, but no, a couple rappers, artists. So yeah, that's where I stand with music in general. I'm a music enjoyer. I don't just talk about rock. I mean, at this point I kind of do, but I'm not like closed-minded or anything like that. I think that's kind of stupid to close your mind and not enjoy other types of art, in my opinion. Man, I'm kind of rambling now, but let's move back to 2015, 2016. And I think it's kind of funny how I'm a person that lived through that 2016 era, and a lot of people look back fondly at that era because it was a very good time. It was a good time. I was there. And it's funny because I can't believe I could be that old to a point where it's like, back in my day, 2016, you guys have no idea how good that year was. You have no idea. Blinded by nostalgia, some people might say. I think it was just a very well-rounded time in terms of music, video games, society, pop culture, everything. I mean, it was kind of peaking at that moment in time. And I think 2016 is the time when The Life of Pablo dropped, and that would be like my sophomore year, or I want to say late freshman year. You guys have no idea how good that album was, whatever. I don't know if it's just me. I don't even listen to Kanye West like that whatsoever at this point in my life. But that album, top to bottom, I was like, this is phenomenal. I don't know if that's just the product of me being a teen in that time, but the music, every tune that was out, the stuff that would go viral with that music in the background, it was just such a nice freaking moment in time. And a lot of people, whenever I look at, because I do look at rap people conversations like NFR podcasts, I do watch that every now and then on YouTube and on Spotify, and I feel like The Life of Pablo never really gets talked about like that, which I find very interesting because I think it's probably the one album of Kanye West where I always go back to, or not always go back to, but I really enjoyed that I would actually go back to and not be annoyed because, Kanye West at this point is just washed. Also in 2016, Travis Scott was popping. A lot of people, also an underrated album by him, Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight. Dude, I don't even remember the title. I just remember the cover. And I remember listening to this literally in every occasion ever. I was really listening to Travis Scott like this, and I feel like this is the one project where I could detach myself, because earlier stuff I wasn't really listening to, but Travis Scott with this album, I was like, okay, I understand the hype now. I understand what's going on, and I want to be on this hype train of Travis Scott. And yeah, man, that was a banger album as well. So from my early freshman, sophomore year days, those are the standout albums to me. So that's kind of where I'm going to stop with that and move on to that junior year, senior year. And I do have some evidence here because I have some playlists here in my phone. So during my junior and senior year, more junior year, I would use SoundCloud. And I think I used SoundCloud since 2014 during that type of era. But we're moving on now. So SoundCloud is what I would use majority of the time. And then I moved on to Spotify. But using my SoundCloud account and looking at my likes, I think it's very interesting to see what I was into. And I'm just going to say it, man. I was a big Lil Peep guy. I was a Lil Peep fan. And I don't listen to him as much. But if I go back to the songs, I feel like I could confidently rap back literally every lyric to most of the songs in his catalog because I was just so enamored with the aura of this man. I remember Lil Skies was popping as well. There was so much going on. There was a bunch of new rappers coming up, and it was very fun and interesting because this SoundCloud era, a lot of people would be like, oh, you don't understand the SoundCloud rap era and stuff like that, and it's not the same, and I feel like it is not the same. I don't really hear a lot of new rappers coming up with that type of, excitement, or there's not that much noise coming from the underground of rap. But back then, there was just so many different rappers, so many different cliques, so many different rap groups that were so entertaining to listen to. I'm just going to show you guys a screenshot of what I was listening to back in the day, and I just find it very funny. Dude, basically on my SoundCloud, all I listened to was Lil Peep at that time. I probably have another account with a bunch of different songs on there, but those are basically all the songs I would listen to. Lil Peep, earlier stuff, SoundCloud stuff. He had a mixtape with Boy Fruit, I believe. One of my favorite mixtapes from that rap fusion underground stuff back in the day. Moving on to my senior year, I feel like we're going at a rapid pace, but I honestly don't have that much evidence from my earlier days in my sophomore and freshman years. But I do in my junior and senior year, especially my senior year, 2019, when I graduated, like I said. And now I'm looking at my Spotify Your Top Songs of 2019. So this is my senior year and a little bit of college as well, community college. I dropped out a couple years in, but it happens. Stuff I was listening to at that time. Be Nice to Me by Blade. Yes, I honestly feel like that's his best album, and it's probably because I liked most of the songs on there. I know you guys, if you're listening at this point and you're interested in what I was listening to, rap, all that stuff, City Morgue and Zilla Kami, everybody's heard what has happened with him recently, some allegations or whatever. I think it's big evidence and stuff, so I don't really know the true stuff or whatever, but it's looking like that dude is freaking weird. And that's such a shame for a lot of people. And I'm not going to bash just rap. I feel like music in general, especially in rock too, dude. There's so many creeps in there. There's so many weirdos in there. And it sucks because sometimes they make good music and then you're just like what's the point, man? So that's unfortunate. I did listen to a lot of City Morgue, I will admit, and I know a lot of people do still, which, stop it. Lil Peep on there, you had Absolute Doubt, Beamer Boy. At this time, I was kind of stepping into a little bit of newer rock and older 90s rock, Nirvana, stuff like that. I feel like Nirvana is such an easy way to get into alternative rock, grunge, whatever you want to call it. I was listening to this indie rock band called Crumb. And to this day, they make such underrated music. They do have a lot of monthly listeners, but I feel like nobody really talks about them too much. Honestly, at all. And they freaking rock, dude. They're amazing. Dude, imagine I interview them one day. That would be lit. I can't lie. Dude, in 2018, 2019, I would listen to Matt Ox album. I couldn't believe what I was listening to. A lot of people made fun of Matt Ox at that time and still do, kind of. But dude, he was dropping bangers on that freaking album. Let me read some to you. You Dig? Banger. Drip? Banger. Blue Racks? Are you kidding me? Blue Racks in my jeans. Are you kidding me, bro? Stop it. 0 Degrees? I Like? Stop it. Jet Lag with Chief Keef? Are you Are you joking? Dude, I don't know if that's just like my what's it called? Something pleasure. What's it called? Not undeserving pleasure. What is it called? Like guilty pleasure. Holy moly, dude. But Matt Ox rips. Freaking goated. If you were into Lil Peep, then you probably heard of City Morgue. And if you heard of City Morgue, you probably heard of I don't know if I could say that word. Sewer Side Boys. S-Boys. Whatever. And yeah, I would listen to them a lot, man. They had a bunch of cool projects. I don't know. I hope they're not being weird people with, people. I don't know the lore or the bad lore about all these rappers today. Maybe I should have looked up some stuff before I started talking about this stuff because I don't want to be praising weirdos. But hopefully they're decent people. I was listening to Claro a lot as well, and the banger Pretty Girl, of course. I mean, pretty basic, but at that time that was pretty generational for me. Playboy Cardi had a banger album. What album? Old Money. What album is that? Hold on, I'm reading. Die Lit. Dude, I'm so washed, dude. I'm so washed at this point. Oh man, I forget all these names. Listen to Lil Tracy. I got a picture with Lil Tracy. Maybe I'll put it up as well. Lil Uzi Vert, Sanguine Paradise. I hope I said that right. I freaking recited that song like crazy whenever I was going to the gym, if you could believe that. I was pretty yoked. So if you know S-Boys, then you know Germ as well. I was listening to Germ in that one album with Bust Down and OGZ, the song Bust Down. Germ has a Death Wish 2019 album. I really liked that album. Is that his most popular? Dang, 2.2 monthly listeners. Good for dude. Like I said, hopefully all these guys are decent people. And sorry if they're all not cool. So yeah, Crumb again. You had some Smoke Perp in there. Bro, let me talk about this album real quick. Young Bands. What album is this? Misunderstood by Young Bands. When this came out, I didn't think I would like it as much as I did. And looking back, freaking bangers. I don't know what bro's been up to recently, but that is my favorite and I think best album by him. Easily his best album in my opinion. Is that his most recent album as well? Hold on. No, he has a 2023 album. Haven't listened to it, but Misunderstood 2019. I don't know if that's underrated in his catalog or whatever, or if people think it's trash, but I think it's goated. I think what I liked about Young Bands is the melody creating that bro had with the auto-tune. And I just thought it was very fascinating to listen to. I'm not gonna hold you. Blade, Jaws, that whole, was it Ice Dancer album? Or am I tripping? Ice Dancer, look at that. Didn't even have to look at the album. I already knew it. Ice Dancer, heck yeah, man. I freaking loved that. So goated. Nirvana live studio album. Bro, Wanna Be Us by Lil Yachty. Banger. I freaking love that melody. And honestly, bro, at that time, I didn't think, because like looking back, it's kind of crazy who had a consistent career at this point, still relevant. And I feel like Lil Yachty's still relevant. I always see his name in the news, like music news, not just news. And I think it's interesting that he's still up and doing good things, because back then I didn't think he was going to have like a long career, dude. Because you would kind of look at rappers and the whole vibe that you got, you would see the shtick, the gimmick, and then you'd be like, he's got like a year and a half or something like that. But it's been a couple years now at this point, like 5 years or something. And bro is still chilling, and that's awesome to see. Listening to Crumb, like I said, I had a Kodak Black song on here, which is, Unexplainable. I liked that song. What album is that? Let me look it up. Project Baby 2, All Grown Up. Yeah, is he still relevant? Oh no. Oh, yeah, he has 28.1 monthly listeners. That's a lot, so he probably has money. Yeah, man, I'll never be that type of guy, like I said earlier. I'll never be that type of guy that's like, rap isn't real music. You need to listen to rock and roll where they're playing with actual instruments and actually doing music. Like, bro, stop it. And stepping into this underground of alternative rock and rock in general, underground, there's like screamo bands, emo bands, all this stuff. You could see similarities within the energies and the fandom, you know what I'm saying? When you compare it to that stuff and rap, which I find it very interesting because I've been on both sides with underground rap, and I thought it was very fun at the time. And maybe even now, the underground scene in rap is very awesome. I just don't know. I'm not very informed like that anymore. I have heard of freaking rappers like Netspend and is it Xavier So Based? I don't even know, man. I'm so old. What happened to me? I don't know. But I can get back into it, man. Music has no like age requirement. So that is awesome. I'm trying to go back into the depths of my mind and remember who was like the last rapper that I was hearing about, but I didn't really listen to. I feel like the last one that was getting poppin', and then I just, stepped out of the rap game was Cemetery. And Cemetery, a lot of people hate that dude and his music, but I find it very interesting because it's so rambunctious and it's so loud and there's so much going on. I find that stuff very amusing, even in rock. So there's a lot of different things for different people, and I think it's very fun to listen to a lot of different types of music. I just haven't really been listening to rap. And that's what I've been listening to, or what I was listening to in high school. Oh, freshman year, I think Fetty Wap. Was that freshman year, 2015? Heck yeah, dude. Banger after banger. I wish he was still up. I think he is. I don't know, or I don't know anything, so I might be saying some dumb stuff. My bad. But that's all I got to say today, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you also entered high school 2015, graduated 2019. Class of 2019, rise up. I'm probably the only one, but hell yeah, man. Like and subscribe. Keep the music alive. Class of 2019 will never die. We're not that old. We're not that old.